Welcome back to the channel, everybody. Me again, Shannon Fox here, Devoted Patriots 2 channel. And I got several things I wanted to bring to y'all today. A couple of good takedowns like the one you're watching on screen right now. A couple people getting clotheslined. A senator actually getting arrested, if you haven't already seen the story. Alex Padilla. We'll get into that a little bit. And we'll get into James Comer getting into a shouting match before it's all said and done, behind that very incident that happened today. And a couple other great takes that I just couldn't help but share with y'all. Good stuff. Stick around. It has been one hell of an eventful day. If you ever want to have a good time on Twitter, looking around, just hashtag in FAFO, and you'll find some stuff. You can go back days and days and find some really, really good stuff in there. I just thought I'd bring y'all a few of them. This is stuff, mostly stuff involving the LA riot and things that have happened this week. And I think it's all good stuff, with the exception of this politician thinking he can get up in Kristi Noame's face. And that is why he got arrested, is because he was basically trying to shove the officers around to get closer to Kristi Noame. If y'all don't have the backstory on that. But like I said, we'll get into that. Let's watch a couple takedowns, and this is what happens when you F around, you find out. And I see a change in the air, folks. There's something happening. People are being arrested in a hurry. Raids are happening. We've now got a ton of people that were involved in the riot that are under investigation. And there's going to be a ton more investigations. They're not going to leave no stone unturned. If you were out there acting a fool on them streets, they're going to come find you. I believe they're already in process of starting the investigations as they clean up those streets. It's happening, folks. We're coming in with full force. And in some cases, it's absolutely necessary. Now, this guy here thought he was going to cruise by while the cops were getting pelted.
Uh-oh. Oh, no. That just set off the car.
Tried to cruise through the police line with a vehicle. Not happening, folks. That's the kind of stuff been going on over the last couple of days, and I'm not mad at it. I'm really ready to see some retribution. I don't want to see anybody get hurt, but I want to see these people calm down in a hurry. Matter of fact, we've got a very American, a very patriotic thing happening here on this video. If y'all hadn't seen this today, this went viral as well. We've got a guy throwing, probably an illegal alien, throwing a bottle in the police's face at point blank range. And as he turns around to walk away, here comes a big white boy out of nowhere. Hits him like Joe Namath. Y'all know who that is. Just perfect stuff, folks. Let's watch it together. Make sure my screen's set up right. Yeah, we're good. Alright, this is good stuff right here. Don't F around in America. That's patriotism, is what I call this.
Whoa! Stop! Jesus, you just hit me! I just got hit with the left vehicle.
Let's watch that again. Boom! Right there. That's the money shot. Anti-ice rider throws a bottle in the face of the LA County Sheriff and finds out in a hurry when a random white dude tackled him like the bitich he is. FAFO. That's the good stuff, folks. I love to share that stuff. I've actually been enjoying playing on Twitter today. Sometimes it's just research, but other times it's quite comical. The news is a hoot. It's a real contact sport at times, especially with these crazies running around. Now listen to what this Florida sheriff says. He says, I'm going to break it down for you. You throw a brick, you throw a firebomb, you point a gun at one of our deputies, we will notify your family where to collect your remains at. Here we go, folks. It's too good.
Break it down for you, all right? And if somebody wants to know what I mean by turn violent, all right, this is what I mean. If you resist lawful orders, you're going to jail. Let me be very clear about that. If you block an intersection or a roadway in Brevard County, you are going to jail. If you flee arrest, you're going to go to jail tired because we are going to run you down and put you in jail. If you try to mob rule a car in Brevard County, gathering around it, refusing to let the driver leave, in our county, you're most likely going to get run over and dragged across the street. If you spit on us, you're going to the hospital and in jail. If you hit one of us, you're going to the hospital and jail, and most likely get bitten by one of our big, beautiful dogs that we have here. If you throw a brick, a firebomb, or point a gun at one of our deputies, we will be notifying your family where to collect your remains at, because we will kill you graveyard dead. We're not going to play.
Ooh, that's so good.
This has got to stop. You're watching what's taking place out there. You're seeing police officers that are being attacked, being spit on, being put in harm's way just for doing their jobs. You're seeing ICE agents that are being targeted for doing their jobs. And you're seeing obstructionists that are doing all of this, standing in the way of law and order.
Damn. They ain't playing in Florida. Don't pull that shit there. Now, they're staging a 20-city protest here in Texas, so we may have a protest here in Waco. I haven't actually found out. I need to actually do the research tonight and find out if Waco's on the list of cities here in Texas that will be doing some kind of protest over the next couple of days. I guess I need to research that today after I get off this podcast. But I wonder how, I know how Waco will handle protesters, but I wonder how cities like Austin and San Antonio are going to handle it with the governor and the attorney general that are, as far as I'm concerned, Trump supporters, America First, support the police. I don't know how these riots are going to go down in 2 days here in Texas, considering the National Guard is already being mobilized. It may go down without a hitch, but it may get ugly in certain places. But it will be interesting to see. So, y'all, keep your heads down, pay attention. If you live in one of these big, crazy cities where these protests may be happening on Trump's birthday here in a couple of days, just make sure that you're not caught up in the middle of it. All right, here we go. I'll get out there and try to report on some of it if it's something local. Now, let's talk about Alex Padilla. He was just thrown on the ground and handcuffed after he crashed out trying to get to Kristi Noone. He acted like, to me, he was acting in a threatening manner, and I'll show you a couple different angles of it.
We are staying here to liberate this city from the socialist and the burdensome leadership that this governor and that this mayor have placed on this country and what they have tried to insert into this city. So I want to say thank you to every single person that has been able to do this. Also, I want to talk specifically.
I have questions for the secretary, because the fact of the matter is a half a dozen violent criminals that you're rotating on your hands off.
How many of our ICE agents have been docked?
On the ground. Hands behind your back. Hands behind your back.
If you let my hands go and turn behind my back.
All right. Cool. One hand. Lay flat. Lay flat.
Other hand, sir. Other hand.
I bet he didn't see that coming. Or was it staged?
There's no recording allowed out here. I did not know. There's no recording allowed out here per FBI regs.
Now, from the other angles that I've seen, it looks like he was trying to charge the stage, and that's what Gateway Pundit said, that he was aggressively, basically looked like he was trying to charge up at Kristi Noone, and he was yelling the whole time and trying to interrupt her. And they tried to put a wall in front of him by having a couple guys stand in front of him, and he just basically tried to push through them. And so that crap didn't work. All right, we watch it again. Let's go back. Different angles.
Exaggerating and embellishing. Sir, hands up, hands up. I'm Senator Alex Padilla. I have questions for the secretary.
He's
because
pushing
the
back.
fact of the matter is, a half a dozen violent criminals that you're rotating on your hands off.
How many of our ICE agents have been docked?
He was clearly in violation. He was resisting arrest. They should have told Brady his rights right there in the room with all them cameras watching, which the whole world will see it by tomorrow anyway. Now I remember distinctly John Podesta tweeting out, it looks like about a dozen times, no one is above the law, in reference to none other than Trump. Well, he even says it right here when he was on the floor of the House, Senate, and he was talking about no one is above the law. Now, do you think he'll remember that today while he was wearing handcuffs?
We rise today to defend the principles at the core of our democratic republic, that we are a government of laws and institutions, not of individuals, that no billionaire has more rights than any worker, and that no president has more rights than any citizen of our country, that we are a government of three co-equal branches, providing checks and balances on each other. And bottom line, that no one is above the law. We rise today.
I wonder how he feels about that statement today. Hope everybody's having a great day out there. Just got off work, thought I'd do a little research on some Twitter and Gateway Pundit and the Daily Mail, and this seemed to be the stuff to talk about. Everybody getting on board with getting these suckers out of the country, even the immigrants that are legal here, the legal immigrants, overwhelmingly are supporting Trump's move to get these people out. Now, DeSantis says Floridians are now allowed to drive over protesters in the streets.
And we also have a policy that if you're driving on one of those streets and a mob comes and surrounds your vehicle and threatens you, you have a right to flee for your safety. And so if you drive off and you hit one of these people, that's their fault for impinging on you. You don't have to sit there and just be a sitting duck and let the mob grab you out of your car and drag you through the streets. You have a right to defend yourself in Florida. And we also have a policy.
I like it. I think we should adopt that in every state. They're not effing around in Florida either. Hopefully Texas will adopt the same policy. I'll be honest with you, 40 people run up on my car, start trying to break my windows out and yank me out of the vehicle, I'm leaving. One way or another, I'm leaving. Now, a lot of this problem with these riots is the fact that the governors are left-wing, corrupted Democrats, and as a matter of fact, why Gavin Newsom is on the hot seat behind all these riots today. Three of the worst governors in the country are in Congress for the Senate, getting grilled like crazy. Elise Stefanik was grilling Kathy Hochul first. And then Tim Walz from Minnesota got grilled, Tampon Tim. And then there was Jay Pritzker from, I believe it's New Jersey. The guy that looks like he ate Chris Christie. Big guy. Let's go ahead and listen to just a minute of what was going on today. So we're not letting up. There is a lot of crap going on. It's finally starting to happen. We're finally starting to get these people. Things going in the right direction. The attitude is finally come around.
And do you know what crime he committed in addition to being here illegally?
No, I do not.
You do not. This was widely reported. He found a 15-year-old girl, threatened her with a metal pole, told her to get into the back seat of his car. He took her clothes off.
All right. Kathy Hochul's playing dumb to all these crimes about illegals. Crime scenes that have happened that made national news, and she don't know anything about him. She is tearing Kathy a new one.
Kathy Hochul's New York. And as I'm sure you are aware, and I'll remind you, that ICE issued an order to detain this violent criminal, but that was rejected by New York officials due to sanctuary.
Let me back it up a little bit.
This is in Kathy Hochul's New York. And as I'm sure you are aware, and I'll remind you, I bet you're going to be familiar when I remind you, he found
Listen to
a
this.
sleeping woman on the subway, lit her on fire, and burned her alive. This is in Kathy Hochul's New York. And as I'm sure you are aware, and I'll remind you, that ICE issued an order to detain this violent criminal, but that was rejected by New York officials due to sanctuary state laws. Now, do you know who Raymond Rojas Basilio is?
I just want to say this. These crimes are horrific.
Because of your
would
sanctuary
say
state policies.
In all of these cases, we would work with ICE to remove
You did
them.
not in this case. They are
They need
walking
our
on the
assistance.
streets because of your policies and your executive order that you signed 3 times. Now, Raymond Rojas Basilio, do you know who that is?
I'm telling you this. I will
You don't know
explain
who
you
it
the
is.
policies of New York. We cooperate with, I know you're just
You do
trying
not.
to.
You do not. Specifically, ICE was told not to detain this individual, and he burned a woman alive on the New York subways in Kathy Hochul's New York. So I will keep on going. What about Raymond Rojas Basilio? Do you know who that?
And she continues to torture. That happened to all 3 of them today. They got a good Raymond, and hopefully they'll get an investigation into, can they legally do that? I mean, can they literally neglect their citizens over the immigrants? Isn't there some violations in that? Some kind of human rights violations against our own citizens? I don't know. I don't know how you would go about stopping people like Kathy Hochul and Gavin Newsom, other than arresting them for anything you can at this point. Sue the crap out of them for the damage they're causing. I think that would be an easy one. Now, the guy that was handing out the mask, I'm sure most of you have heard the story. While the riot was going on, a guy pulls up with these in this big black truck, and he starts handing out these what they call bionic masks. They're a face shield mask which protects you from tear gas, and they're about $50 a piece, and they were handing them out by the dozens. This is where the Walmart story about the Walmart heiress spun from, because the bionic shields can only be bought from Walmart. It was the story on Twitter. I can't confirm that, but at any rate, they did find the guy. Says FBI says the arrest of the man handing out the bionic shields, the face shields, to LA riders is just the beginning, pointing to a larger network of individuals organizing, funding, and supporting the riots. U.S. Attorney Bill Essayli called the riots highly orchestrated and coordinated, vowing to uncover the source behind it all. He says this arrest is the first major step in unraveling the operation. So they got somebody they're going to be interrogating. This guy right here. He could afford to hand out masks. He looks like Antifa to me. He got that look about him. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's the look of evil. Now, speaking of Antifa, James Comer is arguing with a former Antifa Democrat who's a congressman in the House. Says they got in a huge shouting match. The guy says, "We need to subpoena Kristi Noone over Senator Podesta's arrest." Throws a fit about it, which was to be expected. But we'll get into this, folks. This is a huge ass blow up. It's been one of those days. They get in a shouting match pretty quick.
Reclaiming my
time.
Thrown to the ground.
Reclaiming my time.
And handcuffed in his own damn
Oh,
state.
Democrats can't follow the rules. Can't follow the law. Can't follow the rules. Can't follow the law.
We need to subpoena Kristi Noone. It's
Chair
her
recognizes
staff,
Ms. Green.
DHS federal
There's a
officers
privilege of
that
the
threw a
majority,
US
and that
senator
means
to the
we're in
ground.
charge,
Just
not
this
your
morning we were
side.
talking about this
Because
happening to
you
governors.
lost the
All right,
election.
Ms. Green, we're going to start the
Because
clock.
you
You have
supported
anything
the
to say about
invasion
that?
of our
Mr. Frost.
country.
All right.
It's my time.
Will you commit on the record
Stop
to
the
work
clock.
My
on
time.
subpoena
Thank you,
Kristi
Mr.
Noone?
Chairman. Thank you,
Okay.
Mr. Chairman.
You're out of order. Chair recognizes
Will
Ms.
you
Green.
commit on the record
you.
to subpoenaing Kristi Noone because a U.S. senator was just thrown to the ground and detained in his own
Democrats
chamber?
can't follow the rules.
out of
Can't
order.
follow the law.
Will you
Can't follow the
Shut
rules.
up. Just shut up.
No, you don't.
Shut
No, you're
up.
not going to tell me to shut up.
Let's how do you get him in order? You're running for
Not like that.
He has been out of order 6 times. He's trying to get on MSNBC. You probably knocked
I get it.
somebody off
I don't have any problem
MSNBC
getting
to
on
get on there.
MSNBC. That's
Miss
not
I
what it's
Green,
think
about.
as he's been arrested as a
recognized.
former
Yeah, well,
Antifa
okay,
member,
here,
right?
back to order, Miss Green. Go.
He's a
go.
former
All
Antifa
right, Miss
member,
Green. You're
Mr. Chairman.
recognized. You got
no
it.
surprise.
Who's a former
Yours.
Antifa member? Me?
Yeah, you.
I asked that these words be taken down.
No, Miss Green,
Thank you.
you're
I
recognized.
asked
Thank
that these
you,
words
Mr.
be taken
Chairman.
down.
There's a motion.
Governor
Miss
Hochul,
Green is recognized.
Governor
I asked that
Hochul,
these
you
words be taken
stated
down.
that you're a proud Democrat, proud registered
All
Democrat.
right, we got to
You need to
suspend.
retract.
There's been a parliamentary move. They said they weren't going to do that. What's the?
Just
Woo! Fireworks in the house today, folks. It has been an eventful day. And there were several more. I just figured I wouldn't keep you all evening. And if you stuck around to the end, I got one last great post for you. And this is John Voight's message to the governor. And it should be to all these left-wing governors who are in the same exact position about letting their city, probably going to let their cities burn if they have any say in it, behind saving the illegals.
Of these animals destroying. You're a fool blaming Trump. What are you doing for this destruction of these animals destroying Los Angeles? Are you there talking calmly with them, you fool? They would burn you down like they're burning the cars and the American flag with no regard for humanity. This is not about Trump. This is about protecting the people from these animals and criminals trying to destroy us.
Yep.
And our police force, are they supposed to stand there, let rocks hit them and kill them? Who's going to save them? You? President Trump called in the National Guard and the Marines to help with these destructive, barbaric riots. All you do is cause chaos for the people. You're a disgrace. You're nothing but a lying dog for the hopes of becoming the president one day. And God is my witness, truth will prevail because of your faults and your incompetence for California's failures. We the people, I stand with Donald Trump to make this state great again. For we the people choose Donald Trump to save America, and we're in danger with threats from terrorists now, and we must protect our country. This has now become good against evil, and evil will lose because our President of the United States of America was sworn in to protect this nation's greatest gifts: freedom, safety, prosperity. And he will, because he is the greatest president since Abraham Lincoln. And we the people stand with this nation's honor and respect and with the President of the United States of America.
That's right.
Donald J. Trump.
That's right.
God bless.
Wow, I like that. Classic John Voight. If y'all agree with what he says there, or with any part of the video, just give me a thumbs up. Helps with the algorithm, I believe. Maybe I can get more people interested in the videos. I think actually, because of the wording I use, or maybe the conversation, or the things I talk about, like Epstein and things like that, YouTube does not let me, not too many recommendations from YouTube. I can look at the analysis thing on there, and YouTube doesn't recommend my video to 5% of the people that are watching it. So that tells me a story. But enough about me. Just want to let everybody know I will be doing my weekend Saturday or Sunday out feeding the homeless with the blessing bags. Going to be a huge week. Got lots of stuff already. Got more stuff coming in tomorrow. Just I hope everybody joins me on the live. Be sometime middle of the day, probably Sunday afternoon. But other than that, I hope everybody has a wonderful day. Over and out. Have a good one.